Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever it may be. Today we're going to be matchmaking the top 10 of the welterweights. As of recording this on the 27th of December, none of them are match made. The UFC is doing whatever the fuck they want, I guess, with the division. And so we've got here the top 10 welterweights. We got the champ, Jack, everyone. We got some pictures here just in case you guys don't know who these people are. I mean, everyone should know. Who's the champ? Who, who everyone is inside the welterweight division. All right. So, starting off, we got Buckley ranked 10th. He's coming off of a pretty dominant loss to Usman, to old man Usman. I picked him to win actually. I thought he was going to stomp Usman's knees out, but it happens. So he's coming off of a loss, and I'm thinking, who else is coming off of a loss, right? We got Leon Edwards, and they're ranked right next to each other. It's a weird situation because I don't know what else to do with these two, and they're both coming off a loss, so they don't deserve to go fight up. But I also don't want to make them fight down. Like, you don't want to make Leon go with Colby again. You don't want to make Joaquin, he's young. You want to push him up the division. So I'm thinking we get Buckley and Edwards together. And I'm thinking we do this March? What are we thinking? I'd say around March. And I'm thinking, the winner gets to fight up the rankings, obviously. Not too much if you're Edwards, because the UFC doesn't really like Edwards. But if you're Buckley, then you can get the winner of one of these next matches, or maybe the loser, depends on how it shakes out. I'm guessing the loser would probably fight Bonfim. He's not here, but he's out here. He's on a win streak. He's doing pretty good. But for this matchup, I'm thinking probably Leon Edwards takes it by decision, unfortunately. But the reason it's probably going to be a stinker if it goes to the wrestling. But it would be good to know because Buckley just got slimed out by Usman via smudge wrestling. We need to see if his wrestling's improved by any means, by any capacity. So yeah, put those two together, and Edwards probably takes it. Winner gets to fight up in the ranking. Loser fights Bonfim. See if it's improved. See if the defense has improved. So now Usman's a weird case because he's his little fucking his manager with their manager. They have the same manager, Abdelaziz, whatever his name is, with Islam, and they're trying to get this match made. But I am against this. We are against this matchup. There's no way Usman he's 1-3 in his last fights. Do not give this man a title shot. What are we talking? He beat Buckley by decision. It wasn't even that. It was impressive, but it wasn't crazy. And he's just lost. He lost to Leon Edwards twice. Crazy, because Leon Edwards is also on a losing streak. And then he lost to Shavkat. Not to Shavkat, to Hamza. I mean, it's not that bad of a loss. Hamza's the champion, but still, one win in the last 2 years, and out of 4 he's lost 3. Come on, be honest. I'd give him someone who he has some beef with, and someone who they've had some conflict in the past, and it's one of those situations where if I give Usman Bilal Muhammad, if these two fight right here, you think, man, 2 boring ass wrestlers. At this point, Usman's kind of washed in his career, so you think, okay, maybe he's kind of like a more boring wrestler. But you remember Colby and Usman. You remember this fight. They're both wrestlers. What happened? It got canceled out. The wrestling got canceled out, and they started scrapping. That was was that a fight of the year? I don't know. It was one of the fights of the year of 2017. I don't remember. Or 2019. No, they were going crazy on the feet. So I'm thinking, give Usman Muhammad. They've had some beef. They had the whole podcast thing. They've been calling each other out. Bilal Muhammad, obviously the king of Chirac here. We have him. This is his alias. He's known as one of these deadly forces on the streets. And I do this fight probably at UFC 326, where Oliveira and Max is fighting for the BMF. I'd put them to in the undercard or in the main card, but not near the main event. Give these two a scrap. It'll be entertaining. It'll give some more meat to that card because right now it's only a BMF led fight. So I don't know. I don't know if it's too entertaining. I'd put these two on. Hopefully they have an exciting fight. If Usman wins, unfortunately, he's probably going to be next for the title, fighting Islam. But if Bilal wins, he's going to have to fight like 2 more times or 3 more times. Like Bilal would low-key have to slime out the whole division to get another title shot. The UFC does not like this man. And if they get to wrestling, I think Bilal wins. Because this is going to be a 3-rounder. No way this gets made it to a main event. Unless it's a fight night, but I doubt it. If it gets 3 rounds, I think Bilal wins because of Usman's knees. But if it's a 5-rounder... If it's a 5-rounder and they end up striking, I think Usman got it, Loki. I think Mr. Old man Usman, Loki got them hands like Canelo. No, he doesn't. Nah. All right. Prates. Carlitos Prates. What are we thinking about this man? I'm thinking Carlos Prates. You know, he's coming off of 2 wins, Jeff Neal and Leon. He slimed out Leon. I'd make him fight Jack up here, Mr. Jack Della Maddalena. This fight has me pooping my pants for Jack because 3 rounds, 5 rounds, the nuclear option's almost there. Like, you know, you could have said maybe we don't know Prates, how his stamina goes over 5 rounds. You know, he smokes, he drinks. Where is he at? He's this guy right here. He smokes, he drinks. You know, he goes crazy during the fight camp. But he fought Ian Gary, this fella up here, and he almost slammed him out in the 5th round. Damn near killed that man after 4 rounds of getting smudged. So I'm thinking, oof. I don't know how it's going to turn out for JDM. My love. Here he is. The Jonkler. Why did they make his mouth guard? Like, in all the pictures I see of his mouth guard, he looks like this meme of the Jonkler. Where he just got... he just got a singular tooth. No. Alright, so... regardless of what happens in this fight, it's going to be a banger. I doubt JDM is going to wrestle Carlos Prates unless he gets rocked or something. So it's going to be a primarily striking matchup. I'm pretty sure it'll be a 3-rounder, but if this somehow gets made a 5-rounder, JDM I think definitely takes it. You know, given the nuclear option, you know, he can get slammed out 3 rounds, 5 rounds, whatever. I think JDM takes it both ways. I like his boxing better. Muay Thai guys are like historically weak to boxing. They have like worse head movement. Prates does get hit in his fights, even if he's long. He's like a longer guy. He does get hit a lot. Jack needs to fight down. So the reason we're doing this because he needs to go, you know, obviously needs to fight down. He just lost the belt. There's no way of fighting up. You know, I would love to make him fight up if I could, but he needs to fight down, and Prates obviously needs to go up. So this is a perfect matchup. And so if Prates would win, he'd be the number 1 ranked guy in the division, assuming no other fights happen. But I still don't think he'd be next in the title shot. There's a pair of people we're going to talk about now, or not now, but in a little bit, that need to get it before him. So, similarly, I'm going to choose pink for my little boy here, my little Ecuadorian man. Love this guy. Michael Morales. What's going on with this guy? So apparently, the UFC told Islam that he could fight Morales in January before Ramadan, but they told him too late, not enough training camp, whatever. It's not happening. So it's clear that the intention was Morales versus Islam, but I don't think. Well, if the UFC does it how I would do it, that's not who's going to be next. Instead, I'd make these two, Ian and Morales. These two fellas are here. I'd make them fight. A little zesty for the zestiest motherfucker belt, the ZMF belt. These guys, they're on a 2-win streak. No, well, Morales is undefeated, but Ian is on a 2-fight win streak in the rankings. Neither of them deserve to like go fight a contender or someone down below. So they're 3 and 4 right now. Make them fight each other. I think this should be the number 1 contender fight. So this decides who's next for the belt after a title fight that we'll be talking about in a second. So these two here will be fighting for the number 1 contender. I think this is going to be a banger. Although, like, you think about this fight, you're like, all right, Ian Gary's just going to wrestle Morales. I think this is actually going to be a banger because physique-wise, they're both long guys. Long as hell. I think these are two of the biggest welterweights we got, no? Who else is bigger? Shavkat's similar size. JDM's a little smaller. Brady is definitely a midget. Prates is like skinnier. He's not as filled out as these guys. These guys are long. Very long. I think Ian Gary wins this by decision. Unfortunately, we're going to have to sit through Ian Gary pretending he's Conor against Makhachev. It's like Khabib versus Conor from Temu. But it's similar to Prates, where I think Morales has the nuclear option over Gary at any point. So if it's a 3-rounder, 5-rounder, whatever, I'd make these fights. So Gary and I forgot to mention Prates and Jack. I'd make these two during Ramadan, so February, March. Maybe put them on the same card if you can, because Mr. Islam and Mr. Shavkat here, they're out. I mean, they're both Muslim. I saw that picture of Shavkat in the Mecca, so I think he's Muslim for sure. And they're gonna be out during Ramadan, so I think keep those two on the wings during Ramadan. Make these two fights happen in that time, and that'll be the number one contender. And these guys fight the winner, and Carlos Prates, Jack, the winner of Jack and Carlos Prates, fights the loser of the next title shot, whoever that would be. Going back to the Ian Gary fight, now that we've settled when the dates are, I think, yeah, Ian Gary is going to win. It's more than Ian Gary being good. I think it's that Morales lacks experience. He's young. He hasn't gone 5 rounds. I don't think he's gone 5 rounds. And he just doesn't have as much experience as Ian has. Like, Ian is good, but I think Ian's chin is also going to hold up. This little thing right here. He's going to hold up. Even if he got almost slimed out by Prates, I think it holds up for this fight. Okay, lastly, we got Shavkat, who people are left. By the way, Sean Brady, this guy, this little midget. Hold on, let's circle him in green. I'm leaving him here because he was talking about going down to fight at lightweight. Okay, bro loses one time and wants to go fight down. I don't know how traumatizing that loss has to be to just want to switch the division. Like, you're 7th ranked. You're like 2 fights away from a title shot. But yeah, we're going to leave him there because I don't know what's going to happen with him. Maybe he can fight some unranked contender or someone in the top 15. But yeah, for the title fight, this is something a lot of people don't like to hear. But I think Mr. Islam should fight Shavkat. Shavkat has been, before the welterweight division was goated, like recently the welterweight division has gotten really good. But before all the rankings, switched up, Kobe left the top 10. What's his name? Durinho, Gilbert Burns left the top 10. Before those guys got slammed out, the welterweight rankings were a little bit stale, and Shavkat was supposed to fight for the title like a while ago. He got injured. There was that car accident with his family. Thank God his family's all good. Nothing happened there. But yeah, Islam Makhachev versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. It's perfect because they're both going to be out for Ramadan. They're not fighting in January because, Islam declined the title shot. Islam declined the fight in January, so they're definitely not going to fight there. So I think it's perfect. He's second. He's second ranked now, although I think he should be, number one. If Jack hadn't just lost the belt, he'd definitely still be number one. I think even if it's inactive, this fight's going to be, it's necessary for Shavkat to be the one fighting because he beat Ian Gary, and that win is just aged well. I know his last win before Ian Gary was what was it, Thompson? Like, it's not really that valid of a win, I understand, to go get a title shot, but Ian, given the resume, given he took his Ian's been on a win streak, I think he deserves it. I think it's timing-wise the best move we could do. Shavkat Islam, and then we just get it over with, man. Like, whatever happens, we get it over with. I think this fight on paper is really crazy. Like, sounds amazing. Shavkat's the bigger guy. He really knows how to use his reach. He kind of doesn't move his head, but it's fine. He knows how to use his reach. He's long. He's a finisher. He goes for it. He really chases after it. And Islam is technician. He has great wrestling. Trains under Khabib. On paper, it's a crazy fight. In reality, I think this is going to play out a little bit like Jack and Islam. I think it's going to be one of those, unfortunately. I think it's going to be Jack and Islam, but with more scrambles. Apparently, Shavkat was injured in the Ian fight, but seeing how the positions he was getting put in by Ian Gary, bro, he almost got rear naked choked by Ian Gary. I know he fucked up his knee in the fight, whatever. But seeing those positions, I just can't imagine a world where Makhachev loses a scrambling kind of fight with Shavkat. So I think Islam by decision wins that fight. Jack and Protest, I think Jack by decision or very late finish. Gary versus Morales, I think Gary by decision, kind of like a boring fight, although a lot of potential to be exciting. Bilal versus Usman, I think overall Usman's probably going to win this. It has a chance to be a banger fight. Leon versus Buckley, I think Edwards takes this unless Buckley has made big improvements in his game. And that said, this is the welterweight division match made. I'll be coming out with some more videos matchmaking the rest of the divisions in the UFC. I'm taking a look at the bantamweight division next. Kind of fire. That whole thing with Petr Yan winning the belt back, I was not expecting that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to go take a bath, I think. Goodbye.